the importance of being aware of linguistic diversity in the classroom and how it should influence your thinking. So before we start with the importance of linguistic diversity, let's start with the importance of languages. So what makes people different from all other animals and species on the planet is that we are able to communicate uh, through our body language, vocalization, eye contact, and other means, but we can also use language. No other creature speaks a language. Language is a systematic form of communication that can take a variety of forms. Systematic refers to the fact that language is composed of rules. Language is an important part of culture, elements of knowledge, ideas, and beliefs that are passed along from one generation to the next. Language is a great vehicle for knowledge because people use it to tell their children stories and other lessons that will guide them later on in life. As an element of culture, language helps people with proper knowledge to communicate with others. This communication can be performed for a variety of reasons, but the important thing about language is that it helps people to work in groups. So why are language groups important? Because a single person cannot do a lot, cannot do so much. Compared to other creatures on a planet, humans have a very little in the way of physical adaptations. There are many animals that are stronger, faster, and tougher, but through teamwork and group effort facilitated by culture and communication through language, humans have become the dominant species on our planet. An important element is knowledge. With knowledge comes the ability to modify one's environment to suit one's needs, as well as a variety of ways to resist the forces. So, linguistic diversity. One has to understand the importance of representing the language knowledge of pupils in the classroom, and to embrace this linguistic diversity as a learning resource for all classmates. This idea stems from the fact that there are always going to be pupils whose first language is different from the school's preferred communicated language. If linguistic diversity is included in the classroom, there are many benefits. It's very important that the teacher is aware of linguistic diversity, because the positive outcomes that come from the teacher knowing it is that all the children feel a sense of inclusion and they realize that they have value inside of the class. So, linguistic diversity should be considered a wealth and not a problem. As teachers, we should take into account the linguistic and cultural heterogeneity of the pupils, the variety of languages spoken, and the multiplicity of their cultural affiliation. In an educational environment often marked by practices anchored in a monolingual system, this is a great challenge for a teacher. The child who leaves the language of her family outside school does not understand why this language is not entitled to be used in the classroom. So if a student speaks Zulu and then they come to an English class or a classroom where they only communicate in English, the child will not understand why Zulu is not the right language to be speaking in the class. So they will feel left out or they will feel misunderstood, and it's the teacher's job to make sure that they create a safe space for them to communicate. So obviously, schools can't teach all home languages at school to make children feel included, to make the children who don't speak the predominant language at school feel comfortable. But there are many other ways to facilitate. So to offer more inclusion in the classroom, all teachers should allow the classroom to move from a monolingual to a plurilingual space, using multilingual signs to decorate the walls, including bilingual books in the library, etc., etc. Languages and cultures should be considered in terms of collective resources and placed on an equal footing. Instead of it being more English-based, you can level it out. And in South Africa, for example, we have 11 official languages, so you can make each language equal in the classroom, in the posters, the books, and the resources that you use. The bilingualism of pupils who speak a language other than that of the school must be valued to allow them to find their place in the classroom. Research actually proves that it's easier for a child to be bilingual or plurilingual when all of their languages are valued and when making connections between languages is encouraged instead of disencouraged. It is important that parents keep using their family languages with their children, and that teachers also use family languages to help children establish connections between the languages of their environment. It's easier for children to engage in the languages that they are taught at school when their own languages are recognized, because these languages are practiced in the family environment and by the children, which makes the children more comfortable to speak in their home languages and in the languages that they are exposed to at school. Placing value on children's different languages and cultural backgrounds boosts self-confidence and self-esteem necessary for educational and professional success. It's highly important that we allow everyone to build their own identity based on their family life and relationships within and outside of the school. It is vital that the school takes up the challenge. For today's schools, it's not only a place where one acquires knowledge, it is also a place where one pools one's skills and one's knowledge, and where one learns to live together, not by sharing a single language, but embracing several to build common values.